Hello students, welcome back. This is Leena ma'am and I am here with the part 2 of chapter number 10 of your NCERT science book class 6, that is motion and measurement of distances. So in this video you will get the explanation of motion and the types of motion. Children, the learning outcome of this chapter are story of transport, moving things around us, difference between the term rest and motion, different types of motion. So are you all ready? Just bring your rough notebook and NCERT science book and let us start. Children, if I'll ask you how many of you like to travel to different places, certainly the maximum answer will be yes. And you all travel through buses, cars, trains, superfast trains, aeroplanes, etc. Right? But do you know how it all started? The picture you can see here are the current state for the mode of transport. Right? What was at the past? How it all started? Let us know then. The story of transport. Long ago, people did not have any means of transport. They used to move only on foot and carry goods on their back. At that time, palanquins were also in use for traveling, basically by the royal people. Later on, they learned to use animals for transportation. Animals like you can see in the picture, elephants, camel, horses, bullock, etc. Okay. Now then, the ancient people thought for traveling through water bodies. For that, they took hollow wood log. You can see in the picture, hollow wood log. They saw that this hollow wood log is floating on the water, so they thought people could sit on it and row it to move. But it was able to transport only 2 or 3 persons. Then they realize log is not solving their purpose. I mean, more people needs to be transported, no, from one place to another. Then what they did? They tied more number of logs and bamboos together and made boats which could carry more number of people. Okay, that you can see in the second picture. Then they realize they can give their boat a specific shape called streamlined shape. See the third picture. This shape was imitated, copied from the shape of the water animal. Streamlined means what? It means a conical shape from the front side or from the side they were supposed to move. They realized that if this shape will be given to the boats, then they will move faster and it will be easier to row as well. Then only came the streamlined shape of boats into the picture. Later we also got motorized boats and ships, and all are in streamlined shape. Right? Now moving on to the invention of wheels. Ancient people started shifting the heavy object just by pushing it. You can see in the first picture, they are pushing it and transported. Then they realized cylindrical logs could be kept at the bottom of that particular bigger object, and by rolling effect of the logs, object could be transported easily. Then the longer log took a disc shaped wheel. Invention of the wheel made a great change in the modes of transport. At the bottom you can see how the design of the wheels was improved over thousands of years. Then animals were also used to pull cart that moved on wheels. Children, until the beginning of the 19th century, people still depended on the animals, boats and ships to transport them from one place to another. Then they invented steam engine, which changed the whole scenario of transport system. Railroads were made for steam engine driven carriages and wagons. Initially, it used to have 1 or 2 carriages, as you can see in the picture. Later the number were increased. After this, actually, people started developing automobiles such as motor cars, trucks and buses, also motorized boats and ship, etc. Okay. Now see these pictures. These are the modern modes of transport, which are the contribution of the 20th century. The improved bikes, improved car, electric train, monorails, supersonic aeroplane, spacecraft, ship and many more, right? Now let us perform one of the activity that is given in your book, activity number 5, page number 102. You can see some of the pictures are there. You can draw a table like this. In this table we will see that which objects is at rest and which are in motion, right? So let us begin the activity looking at the pictures given here. Butterflies are moving, that means they are in motion. Then dog at rest, it is not moving, right? House at rest, table at rest. The bird, it is in motion. Then the clock at rest. The boy is in motion. Then suppose I'll ask you, what about the minute hand of the clock? Yes, it is in motion. Got it? Next, let us have a look on another activity of your book, that is activity number 6, page number 102. For this, you have to choose a place where you can find ants. Keep a sheet of white paper on the ground and scatter little sugar on it. After some time, you will see many ants crawling on the sheet. For any one ant, mark the path it is following with the help of a pencil. You will see that the ant is changing its position with time. Okay. This proves that there are things around us which are moving. Okay. Basically, motion means when something is changing, any object or anything that is changing its position with time, that means that particular object is in motion. Just have a look on few of the pictures given here. These are the birds, they are flying. Another one, a man who is walking here. Then another picture, the man is running in this picture, right? Then the girls are cycling here. Next, the children are playing. Then the last picture here, the vehicles are moving on the road. So what you can see from all these pictures, they all are in motion or they all are moving. We can say that these are the examples of motion. Clear? See few more picture. See, there is a apple lying. Then there is a book lying on the table. Here is a football on the ground. A cup of tea on the table. What you can say? Are these objects moving? No, they are not moving. We can say they are stationary, or we can say they are at rest. So these are the objects at rest. These are the example of objects which are at rest. But are they really at rest? To answer this, let us see few more scenarios, few more picture, so that we can understand it in a better way. See this, here is the picture. Suppose you are sitting near the window in the car. To you, the trees outside will seem to be moving backwards. But to a person standing outside, the trees will seem to be at rest. On the other hand, the person sitting next to you will seem to be at rest to you, while he and you will seem to be in motion to the observer outside. Do you get it? Let me explain this in another way. See, in the car, suppose A and B are sitting and they are in motion because the vehicle is moving. C is another person who is standing outside. Okay, for C can see that the person C is able to see that A and B are moving. He feels like that because the vehicle is in motion. But for A, B is at rest, and for B, A is at rest. I hope you got it. Just see another picture here. When you look at the sun, it does not appear to move. But if you look at it again after 5 hours, its position is different. So you know that it has improved slowly, of course, in relation to you, for you, during these 5 hours when you were not looking at it. So, what do you understood from all these pictures or all these examples? Motion is relative. What does it mean? Something that appears to be in motion in relation to one observer may appear to be at rest in relation to another observer. Also, something is in motion in relation to an observer if its position with respect to the observer changes with time. What does it mean? We can say an object is in motion if its position changes with time. And also we can say then any object is at rest if its position does not change with time, of course with respect to the observer. Let me explain in another way. We all know the earth rotating on its own axis. Okay, this is an imaginary line, the axis is an imaginary line. Now just look at the picture given at the bottom on the left side. This is the picture of an office, right? There are many people who all are sitting and one is standing. So if we will say and to any one person, maybe he or she is an observer for the rest, what all rest all are doing? They are sitting or one is standing. They all are at rest. They are not moving. But are they really at rest? Just have a look here. If the person from the space look at it, because the earth is rotating, everything is in motion. So, what we conclude here? The object is at rest or in motion. That depends on the person. That means depends on the observer who is looking at that particular object. Okay. So, a body may be at rest with respect to one set of surroundings and at the same time be in motion with respect to another set of surroundings. Thus, motion is relative to the observer. Just have a look on the definition. Just make a pause of this particular video and write down the definitions in your rough notebook. Okay, fine. Let us move. Here I had given some review question, review number 1. Just write down the answers in your rough notebook. First question is, why it is said motion is a relative term. Second question is, when is a body said to be at rest? These are quite easy and I am sure that you will be able to answer them. Next topic is the types of motion. Let us understand what are they. Just see here, for our syllabus we have to study this way. There are 4 types. First one is linear or translatory motion, which have subtypes rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. Second one is rotational motion, and circular motion is one of its special case. Third is periodic, then oscillatory motion is also one of its case, and fourth one is the random motion. So, what is linear motion? It is also known as translatory motion. We simply define it, a body is in linear or translatory motion if the body as a whole moves along a straight or curved path. So, look at this picture. This is the picture of vehicles on the straight path. Similarly, in the second one, march past by the soldiers in a parade. Third one, the athletes on a straight track. And the fourth one, the striker moving across a carom board. So these types of motion are known as rectilinear motion because they are moving in a straight line. So such motion by the object are known as rectilinear motion. Similarly, see this picture. The athletes are running through a curved path here. Here the boys are running in a curved path, and in the third case the cyclist following a curved path while cycling. These are all curvilinear types of motion. So what we can say here, when a body moves in a curved path, its motion is described as curvilinear motion. Here I have written all the definition at one place. Just make a pause over here and write down the definition in your rough notebook. Move on to the second review question. Question number 1. What is translatory motion? Write an alternative name for it. What is rectilinear motion? Give 3 examples. What is curvilinear motion? Write 3 examples. Again, I know you can do it. So, write it down in your rough notebook. Next one, rotational and circular motion. Can you see this picture? First one is Ferris wheel. Yes, these are the giant wheel. Then spinning of top. Third one is a fan rotating. Fourth, the way a cycle wheel rotates. Can you see there is in all the pictures how they are moving? Here in this case, can you observe one thing? The body stays in the same place or has no translational motion, but it moves around an axis passing through itself. In other words, we can say, though the position of the entire body does not change, the positions of different points on the body keep changing with time, right? But just have a look on this picture. This is a car following a circular track, isn't it? Here the position of the car itself keeps changing with time, but in rotational motion the position of the body does not change. Another thing you have to remember here, that the distance of the body from the center of the circular path remains the same during this circular motion. The position of the car running around a circular track keeps changing with time, though its distance from the center of the circle does not change, right? Let us perform one more activity that is given in your book, activity number 7, page number 103. Here, what in the first picture, what you can see, a boy is just tied a ball with the help of a thread and whirl it with his hand. Okay, what you can see, the ball, the object here is the ball. Entirely it is following a circular path, right? Similarly, we can take an example in the second picture, a satellite revolving around the earth in circular path. See here another example. What is a circular motion? You can see how the earth rotates around the sun, right? So these are few of the examples. Now let us have a look on both circular motion and rotational motion. You will be able to understand in a better way. Just see both the picture. What is the difference in these two? In the first case, the earth is following a circular motion because the earth is revolving around the sun. In the second picture, the earth rotating on its own axis. So this is rotational motion. Okay, if we'll see it individually. Now just have a look on the definition. Children, again make a pause of this video and write down these definitions to understand in better way in your rough notebook. But here, children, just remember, just note it down that circular motion is a special case of rotational motion, but rotational motion is not circular motion, because in case of rotational motion the object is not rotating entirely. I mean, the whole object is not moving. A part of the object is moving. Okay, though it is circular, but it is not in the entire object, I mean, is not rotating or not moving, right? So here the review number 3, review questions here again. Question number 1, explain rotational motion with examples. Second, explain circular motion with examples. Third one, I had given some of the examples to identify the types of motion. So first one is spinning of a top, train moving along a track, car moving on a circular path, movement of vehicles on a road. Knowingly, I have not given you the answers for 3 even because I know you will be able to do it. So let us move on. See some of the picture over here. Here, what is this? Look at the blades of the what? Blades of the fan, then hands of the clock, string of guitar, okay, then rotation of earth, oscillation of swings, right? Here you can see that the part of the object is moving or rotating. They are periodic. Okay, they are periodic means what? They have a fixed time. They have a fixed time, and they are what? They are rotating exactly after the same interval of time. But there is a special case, as I told you. Before than that, just let us understand in more precise way what is periodic. Basically, any motion which is repeated after some fixed interval of time is periodic. Like the rotation of earth about its axis repeated every 24 hours, isn't it? So it is periodic. The revolution of earth around the sun is also periodic. The rotation of a fan, of course at one speed, you cannot consider with the two different types of speed, that is also periodic. Because if you will mark, suppose in the previous picture we had seen that there are 3 blades. If you will mark 1, 2 and 3 and switch on your fan, you will see that initially the position of the blade 1, wherever it was, that comes after the same time interval to the same point. Okay, so this is periodic. But swing of your arm is not periodic, though it is repetitive, but the time interval is not fixed. So time interval has to fixed. If time interval is not fixed, that is not periodic. Similarly, the beating of a heart, that is also repetitive, but it is not periodic because the time interval is not fixed. That gives us the last point, the beating of a heart and the expansion and contraction of lungs are repetitive but not periodic. Let us move on to oscillatory motion. You are already familiar with the motion of pendulum. You have already seen in the wall clock, right? The oscillation of pendulum, the movement of swings are examples of oscillatory motion. Let us say that the oscillatory motion is repetitive to and fro motion of the body about its position at rest. Just look at the picture here on the right hand side or in the left hand side. In both the picture, the position A is pendulum's position of rest, that is called mean position or center position or the position of rest. Okay, suppose let us consider how it starts swinging. It swings to B and then to C and then come back to the position A, isn't it? I repeat, the swinging of the pendulum bob is what? How it started? It started from A to B. B is the extreme position and C is also called as the extreme position. So it started from A to B, then B to C, crossing the path A, then finally C to A. That is called one oscillation. Okay. You know that the time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation is always the same. anything that occurs at fixed interval of time is called periodic, that we have already learned. Thus, the oscillation of a pendulum or a swings are periodic. And we can define oscillatory motion as the periodic motion of a body about its position of rest, or the to and fro motion that a body repeats about its position of rest after a fixed interval of time. Children, when you pluck a string of a guitar or a sitar, it vibrates to and fro about its position of rest. When you strike the membrane of a drum, it vibrates up and down about its position of rest. These vibrations are like the oscillations of the pendulum, except that they are faster. And there is one more difference also. The pendulum swings freely while the string of a musical instrument is fixed at two ends, and the membrane of a drum is fixed around the circumference. Okay. So, what you understand from this? What is an oscillatory motion? Oscillatory motion is periodic, but all the what we can say here, the x and y, that means the distance from A to B, which we depict as y, and distance from A to C, which is x, are equal always, but the distance is not similar always. I mean to say, the distance from A to B is not similar. Slowly when you swing, remember, the distance from your rest position to the front side is much more, or to the back side is much more initially, and later slowly it decreases. But while the speed decreases also, the distance of a x and y is same. Okay. So, this type of motion is known as oscillatory. Oscillation motion is repetitive, hence periodic. Oscillatory motion is the to and fro motion that a body repeats about its position of rest, that is mean position after a fixed interval of time. Oscillatory motion can also be defined as the periodic motion of a body about its position of rest. Any movement which is repetitive or which appears to be oscillatory or rotational need not be periodic. Okay. Example is striking the membrane of a drum, pendulum swings freely, etc. These are the examples of oscillatory motion. Note down that all oscillatory motions are periodic, but all periodic motions may not be oscillatory. You have to remember, initially I just told you that oscillatory motion is a case of periodic motion. Okay. Now, the fourth type, that is the random motion. When a body moves in different direction and does not have a fixed path, it is called random motion. Remember the activity that we performed for the ant, that is activity number 6 in your book. That ant, the path followed by the ant is not fixed, isn't it? It is random. So, that kind of path or that kind of motion with different direction, no time, no fixed path is known as random motion. Let us see some few more examples, like the flight path of an insect, flow of water in river, movement of atoms and molecules in liquids and gases. Let us see some different motion at the same time. Just look at this. Can you see? There is a ball rolling from a inclined place, right? So, here what is happening? The ball is rolling around itself. At the same time, it is following a straight path. So, here two types of motion is acting. One is rotational motion, another one is what? Rectilinear motion. See this picture, the cycle is moving. So, in this case, the wheel of the bicycle rotates because it is moving along a axis, and it is also moving forward, which is following a rectilinear motion. Third scenario, you can see here the spinning of top, it is rotates, wobbles and moves along the floor. when it moves along the flow, it is not having any fixed time, path or direction, isn't it? So the spinning of a top is rotating on an axis. So it is a rotational motion. At the same time, it is a random motion. In the fourth picture, you can see that the earth rotates on its own axis. At the same time, it revolves around the sun. So it follows two type of motion, that is one when earth rotate on itself, that is on its own axis, that is your rotational motion. But when it revolve around the sun, it follows a circular path. Clear? Thank you children. That's it in this chapter. See you. Bye-bye.